first man who tried to trap light was told he was trying to steal fire from the gods, but he tried anyway, and for centuries the world remained in darkness. Not complete darkness, of course not. There were candles, torches, and flickering lanterns, weak flames that trembled in the night like frightened spirits. They lit rooms, but they never defeated the dark, because the dark was patient, and the secret to conquering it was hidden in forbidden knowledge. In the early 1800s, the world was changing. Factories roared like iron beasts, cities swelled with smoke and ambition. Inventors whispered about electricity, an invisible force that moved like lightning through metal veins. Most people saw electricity as a curiosity, a spark, a trick. But a few men believed something far more dangerous. They believed electricity could become light itself. One of the first to chase this impossible dream was Humphry Davy, a British scientist who played with electricity the way an alchemist played with fire. In 1802, inside a quiet laboratory lit by trembling candles, Davy performed an experiment. He connected wires to a massive battery and attached them to a strip of carbon. When the current surged through it, the carbon glowed. Not a flame, not a candle, but something unnatural, a blinding white arc of light. It hissed like a living creature. For a moment, the room looked like daylight. Then the carbon burned away, and the darkness rushed back. Davy had glimpsed the future, but the world wasn't ready yet. Decades passed. Inventors across Europe and America became obsessed with a question that haunted laboratories and workshops. How do you imprison light without letting it destroy itself? Electricity was powerful, too powerful. Every material they tried burned up within minutes. Metal melted, carbon crumbled, glass cracked under heat. Each attempt ended the same way, a brief, brilliant glow, followed by failure. But obsession spreads like a virus, and by the late 1800s, dozens of inventors were chasing the same forbidden prize. Some worked in secret, some stole ideas, some ruined their fortunes, all chasing the same dream, a light that would never flicker. Then came Thomas Edison, a man many would call a genius, others a thief. But one thing was certain, Edison did not give up. Inside his laboratory in Menlo Park, New Jersey, Edison and his team worked through endless nights. The building glowed with experiments, wires tangled across tables, broken glass scattered across the floor. Thousands of materials were tested: cotton thread, horsehair, wood fibers, even beard hair. Each one placed inside a glass bulb where the air had been sucked out, leaving a cold, silent vacuum. Because oxygen was the enemy. Oxygen fed the fire. Without it, perhaps the filament could glow without burning. Still, most attempts failed, one by one. Hundreds, then thousands. The lab became a graveyard of broken light bulbs. But Edison believed something chilling. If the right material existed, the light would obey. In 1879, after more than 6,000 experiments, something finally worked. The filament was made from carbonized bamboo. Inside the vacuum-sealed bulb, electricity flowed through the thin black strand. It began to glow, soft, golden, alive. Minutes passed, then hours. The filament did not burn away. The light remained. For over 1,200 hours, the bulb continued glowing. For the first time in human history, light had been captured. But Edison did not just invent a bulb, he built a system. Power plants, wires, electric grids. Cities began to glow at night. Street lamps lit roads that had been swallowed by darkness for centuries. Factories ran longer. Homes no longer depended on fragile flames. Night itself was changing. Humanity had stolen a piece of the sun. But Edison wasn't the end of the story, because others improved the secret. In the early 1900s, inventors discovered a stronger filament, tungsten. Unlike fragile carbon, tungsten could burn hotter and brighter. And inside the bulb, a mysterious gas, argon, replaced the vacuum, protecting the filament from destruction. The bulbs became stronger, brighter, more efficient. By the 1920s, electric light had spread across the world. Cities sparkled like constellations. The night sky was no longer the brightest thing humans could see. But here is the strange truth. Even today, hidden inside a fire station in Livermore, California, a small light bulb still glows. It was installed in 1901, and it has barely turned off since. More than 120 years of continuous light. Scientists study it. Engineers debate it. Some call it a miracle of design. Others whisper something different. That perhaps the early inventors understood something about light that we have forgotten. Because the light bulb was never just an invention. It was humanity's declaration of power. A challenge to the darkness, a statement that night itself could be defeated. And ever since that first glowing filament, the world has never truly been dark again. But every time a light flickers on in a silent room, it's worth remembering the strange truth behind it. Thousands of failures, obsessive inventors, and a dangerous question that once terrified the world. What happens when humans learn how to control light?